have one of the older cemeteries in Cleveland. Right across the street from Progressive Field, where the Cleveland Indians are playing. Can you imagine? Not that it's a bad thing. It must be very interesting, like for relatives to come and visit their loved ones or their relatives from many generations ago, and to be right across from Progressive Field. This is the Erie Street Cemetery, and there are a number of notable people buried in the Erie Street Cemetery, such as Revolutionary War soldiers, Cleveland mayors such as Joshua Mills from 1838 to 1840, 1842 to 1843, and Mayor John W. Allen from 1841 to 1842, and the first family of Cleveland, Lorenzo and Rebecca Carter, were also here, and many other people, including John Malvin, a freed slave activist in the Underground Railroad and canal boat operator. And it's just amazing just seeing the whole area around here. And now there are others graves here, such as unmarked graves, common graves for some of the victims of the explosion of 1916 from the Waterworks tunnel explosion. And there are other prominent things about this cemetery. You could take a better look at it here. And this is the cemetery that's right opposite Progressive Field. And we'll just turn around just to show you how times have changed from 200 years ago till today. And here you can see a great contrast. Here you have a modern baseball field for the Cleveland Indians, and then you have this beautiful graveyard that's here from about 200 years ago, unchanged. It's just a great comparison and contrast to see everything like this. Not very normal. And in 1826, when Cleveland's first cemetery closed, Cleveland Village trustees paid Leonard Case Sr. $1 for 8 acres of land and dedicated it as the Erie Street Cemetery. And built on what became prime property, the cemetery touched off a century-long struggle between residents and local government. In 1836, trustees allotted space in the cemetery for a gunpowder magazine and a poorhouse infirmary. Angry heirs of the original lot owners sued the city and claimed infringement of the covenant, but they lost. And during the early 1900s, Mayor Tom Johnson's administration tried to take back the cemetery land and failed. Later pressure from the Pioneers Memorial Association and the city manager William Hopkins caused the planned Lorain Carnegie Bridge to avoid the Erie Street Cemetery. Struggles to confiscate the land ended, but the city neglected the cemetery. In 1939, the Early Settlers Association restored the cemetery and erected a stone wall around it. That's 1939. So you can see the stone wall around here. Now, as I showed everyone, right across the street from here is Progressive Field. So I think the struggle for this prime land has not ended yet. Maybe in 50 or 100 years there'll be more of a struggle because it is such prime land. And imagine building like different buildings on top of this land right next to Progressive Field. It would be a great moneymaker, but principle also matters. And here in this case, the people of the city say, look at these people who are buried here. Don't they deserve some respect? And they do. And it's amazing seeing this. And again, this is the Erie Street Cemetery. It's just an opportunity for some people to take a closer look at some of the tombstones that are here and the types of people that were buried here. And here you can see the more old-fashioned tombstone with these obelisks, which they do not do these days in graveyards because maintenance is the issue for a lot of graveyards, and they like to have the tombstones flat on the ground to make the maintenance much easier. But of course, if you were one of the people buried, you wouldn't mind having a bigger memorial than might be common, such as this memorial here. Here we can see a really nice memorial. And there you can see more of the cemetery. Just a beautiful resting place for all these souls. And remember, it's a number of acres that was sold to $1 to have a resting place for some of the other people. And that's Progressive Field.